All right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday, and a lot of stars in the store in the wine industry this year. We've had, Tim Mondavi to start the year off for his Continuum project, and then Dina Mondavi stopped in. That's Michael Mondavi and Isabel Mondavi's daughter, Robert and Dina, and these guys are, the next generation of Mondavis, fourth generation now, taking all along the footsteps of the family and going into the wine business. And this Isabel Mondavi label, only 10,000 cases. I remember when I had lunch with Michael, I don't know, a year or so ago when he was in, I said, man, this is going to be like a part-time job for you. This is a guy that was in charge of, I don't know how many million cases when he ran Robert Mondavi Winery, which Constellation took over in 2004. And, he started this project, and they wouldn't let him put his name on the bottle, but he's allowed to use his wife's name, Isabel Mondavi. And, this is a family that's deep-rooted in the wine industry. You can just guess anything they're involved with is going to be of very high quality. And a lot of these vineyards they own. I'm guessing they do buy some of the fruit for these wines, but these guys have got a lot of friends in wine country. They've been around, like I said, 4 generations. So even the stuff that they purchase, I'm sure that, it's some of the best fruit that you'll find, and I'm sure that they control the way that the vineyards are farmed and everything else. And, these wines, very balanced. Not your typical overly oaky, overly fruity California-style wines. I think they're kind of a cross between European and California-style wines. And the packaging has gotten much better on these wines also. I remember kidding Mike about his Chardonnay in a Bordeaux-style bottle, but, he said I wanted to do something different. I don't think his Chardonnay is that different. I think, the wines, like I said, I don't know that they're your typical California wines, but I don't know if in a blind tasting you would pick them to be European wines. The Chardonnay from Carneros, 2011. This is, like I said, it comes from 2 vineyards in Napa and one in Sonoma on the Carneros side, both of them. Carneros is a crescent moon-shaped appellation that stretches from Sonoma into Napa on the top of San Francisco Bay. And it's very cold there, so very good for Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. They use about 45% new oak, and this wine's got bright, fresh lemon and drop candy-like fruit with some green apple thrown in there, hints of vanilla bean, creme brulee, some toasty oak spice, and bright and fresh on the palate, pineapple and lemon drop citrus fruit here with a nice touch of toasty oak spice, a really balanced wine with some tangy minerality to the finish. Very good juice at 3,000 cases produced. Then the Cabernet Sauvignon Deep Rosé, as opposed to just a rosé. And, this wine is deep in color, thus the name, and it says TM on there like they've trademarked this, as if anybody else would want to use the term deep rosé. But it works for this wine. It was created by Mom. I guess she likes this, only 800 cases. But that was a lot for her to drink, so they decided to release it. And this one's got a little Petite Syrah, Petit Verdot, and Cabernet Franc in the blend, but it's mostly Cabernet Sauvignon, a Saunier style, a very deep color, thus the name. Dark cherry pie-like fruit on the nose with pretty floral notes. Ripe and juicy fruit here on the palate with that cherry pie and pretty floral notes showing all the way through the finish. 1,000 cases of this wine produced. Definitely a lot for Mom to drink on her own. Then the Isabel Mondavi Pinot Noir. This is 2 clones, Dijon and Swan, all from their estate vineyards. It's fermented small lots with lovely fresh raspberry and strawberry fruit, exotic spices, pretty floral notes, and just a whiff of fresh earth thrown in there, fresh and bright on the palate with raspberry and strawberry fruit, a nice hand of spice, fresh and zesty on the finish. Excellent juice, only 800 cases produced. That was my favorite of the first 3. And then the Cabernet Sauvignon, Napa. And this one's got a bit of Petite Syrah and Zinfandel, and possibly Petit Verdot also in the blend here. And it comes from 4 different vineyard sites. This is the first vintage of the Emblem Napa. They do make the Oso vineyard, which they've had before, but classic Napa Valley Cabernet. A good hand of sweet tobacco spice, some hint of black pepper there, some fresh plowed earth and dark cocoa. Nice complexity on the nose. A very smooth and easy drinking wine on the palate. Nice touch of spice, milk chocolate notes on the smooth and balanced finish. A very drinkable style here. Excellent juice. These 2010 vintage wines got very good structure. This one's one of the more forward ones that I've had. The 2009 Oso Vineyard. This is their single vineyard in Pope Valley, and also means bear, so there's a lot of black bears in this part of Napa. Deep, dark currant and cassisberry fruit with toasty oak spice and espresso and dark cocoa notes. There's 5% Petit Verdot in the blend here, and you get a little pretty violet floral note coming out of that. The vineyard is at 1,250 feet above sea level. Nice fresh earth and kind of dark spice coming in there as well. A big and chewy wine on the tongue with some dry tannins, some bitter cocoa, a good amount of that currant and cassisberry fruit there. This wine just needs a little time. Very concentrated and layered finish. Excellent juice. And then the M by Michael Mondavi. The wine that is not it doesn't have a name, it's just a letter. You know, what's in a name anyway? It's just a bunch of jumbled letters. And this wine was 45 years in the making. Dad was a winemaker for Mondavi for the first 8 years, and he found this vineyard in the early 90s, planted it. It's up on Atlas Peak, and then the grapes went to the Mondavi Reserve Program for years, and then you know, when they split ways, he decided this was what's going to make my iconic wine, 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, 100% single vineyard, and they're going to throw a little Petit Verdot in this in the future. They planted some Petit Verdot in there, also a very complex array of aromas on the nose, the cigar box spice, some fresh earth, dark currant, and cherry fruits, really rich, and this wine, wow, big and chewy on the tongue with layers of dark berry fruit, intense but well-balanced, has a nice firm underbelly of acidity and that lovely cigar box spice and loamy earth notes lasting through the long layered finish. Really long and most excellent juice as you would expect. $189. Hey, if anybody deserves over $100 for a bottle of wine in Napa Valley, it's the Mondavi family. I've said that before. I'll say it again. That's what I had to drink with Dina Mondavi. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying, remember, always drink the good stuff first.